Hey Tiz, how's it going? You enjoying cat cam? That is premium cat loaf right there that I'm serving up to you. Cat cam. Figuring out where my camera is, where my hands are on the camera is really hard. Really difficult. I was trying to hold the cat loaf. Didn't work. How's it going, guys? Decided to get ready for dance because I didn't feel like waiting. So, get to watch this weird video game and then go dancing. Me too! You stopped playing Sea of Thieves, like, permanently? Because I don't believe that for 1 second. Oh, for the day. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Oh, you can't see my eyebrow wiggle. I've hidden my eyebrows. I need, like, mechanical eyebrows that I can, like, mess with. I need the sass of the eyebrow, but, the mask. As you will. Clone Hyatt, superimpose eyebrows and post. Nah, seems like too much work. Like, literally, nowadays I only spend, like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes on video editing, and it's literally cutting down the amount of wait time until someone comes and talks to me in chat in the beginning, and then I cut out the break in the middle of, like, the longer streams, and then I put, like, a seamless transition into credits and take out the me faffing about figuring out who to raid and all that malarkey. But yeah. But also I put on the dress because I feel like hot shit. We have been in the process of moving in the last week or so to the new apartment. We still haven't moved all, like, the big pieces over. No, not hot shit as in a good thing. Not hot shit, like, let me rephrase. Flaming garbage. I feel like flaming garbage. I feel like a trash goblin. Negative things. And I gotta laugh about it because otherwise I'd cry. But, so my toothbrush is at the new apartment. My hairbrush is at the new apartment. My shampoo is at the new apartment. The toilet paper is at the new apartment. So a lot of, like, things that I normally use. New apartment. And, so I don't remember the last time I washed my hair. Usually I wash my hair, like, once a week. I think we're on 2 weeks now, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I know I know a couple of YouTubers that, like, one YouTuber who her hair is like down to her waist. She does not wash her hair more than once a month, and that's because instead of washing it every single day and like stripping the oils from her hair, she'll just do like a intense regimen once a month, and like she puts hair oils in it and like keeps it really nicely done the rest of the time. But she does a lot of braids and stuff because, I mean, that's pretty much all you can really do with long hair. But this is my first time taking it into 2 weeks, which it's starting to feel a little bit dirty. But I had to get a bit inventive today prepping my hair for stream because like, since I don't have a comb or my hairbrush, I was using my fingers as like God's given comb, I guess. Like, okay, so when it's in the braid, it doesn't feel dirty, but if you like took it out of the braid and were running your hands through it, then yeah, it feels like kind of, I don't know how to describe how it feels, but it's just not clean hair, I guess. But anyway, enough about my hair regimen. It is time to get into a video game. So give me a second, I'll get us on over. And as always, if you are a person who has the epileptic fits or whatever from flashy lights stuff, I appreciate you being here, but this is not the game for you. But feel free to come back on a Saturday stream because that should be safe. We'll see. I'm gonna bop that off for now. And Discord, what are you still doing up? Get out of here. Get out of my life. Alright. More oily than it's supposed to? I almost wouldn't call it oily. I'm gonna bring that back up a bit. There we go. I mean, you can't have cat cam all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would call it oily. It's just an odd texture. Is that game audio? That is game audio. I still feel like a freaking numpty. Alright, sinking in the refrain. Let's go. Alright, Tiz. You are the one who has watched it more recently than I. You don't have game video? Why don't you have game video? That's right, because I was a numpty who changed games last stream. There we go. Thank you. And I also didn't switch back to there. There we go. Sorry, I know everything's freezing on your end, but there we go. Much better. Okay. I have 40 seconds. What can I do? I did all the things for... I kicked it, I investigated it, and I did get shocked. So...
An iron ladder.
I didn't try tackling it? Did I try climbing it? I don't remember if I climbed it. I did try climbing, and I did try lifting, and it didn't work, so let's try tackle.
Ready?
Apparently that's the one thing I needed to do.
Whoa!
Big explosion.
This Somnium is awfully dangerous.
Hey, that door. Maybe we can open that one now. Check it out.
Alright.
A rusted metal door.
Guess it's time to open it. Hope that's the last thing I gotta do.
I'm going to open it.
Looks like it was the last thing to do.
That's... Iba, return to the control room on the 3rd floor.
At once!
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, that's about how I feel about it.
Tate, what are you doing? 6 minutes are up!
Wait! Hitomi is...
Tate, you can't go any longer! Force shutdown!
No!
Open before the door. Achievement unlocked. Refrain. Echoes of murder. Murder. Day 5. Tuesday. Police headquarters. Tuesday, 3:14 a.m.
I took a look around your head, and I discovered something.
Gotta save.
Something about the new Cyclops serial killings. Apart from Ota, there are 4 victims. Shoko Nadami, Renju Okiura, Iris Sagan, and So Sejima. Who was responsible for these murders? Shoko was stabbed by Renju with an ice pick. Renju was strangled to death by Iris. So cut open Iris's body, but who shot So? It was you. In other words, all of these murders were committed by different people. There wasn't just one killer. That's how it looks on the surface, anyway. But that's not the truth, is it? There's only one culprit. One person. And that person is...
Well, it's not So. It's not Iris. And it's not Renju, since we already said all those things. So it's you?
Yes. You. The person in front of me right now.
You're blaming the commander of Abyss for this?
No, not Boss. The person inside Boss's head.
Can you at least try to make sense?
Alright, I'll explain. You know about the abandoned chemical plant in Kawasaki? There's a prototype sync machine there. You use that device to swap around bodies one by one.
In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced. Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded, switched.
I don't know where it started, but at some point, you got into Shoko's brain. Then, you got into Renju's. And got rid of Shoko's body. After Renju was Iris. You strangled Renju using Iris. After that, into So. Who you used to kill Iris and Ota at the cold storage warehouse. Now, you're in Boss's body, inside her head.
I see. If you know that much, then I have nothing left to hide. Yes, I am the culprit behind the new Cyclops serial killings. I guess you can call me the new Cyclops killer.
Give me the details of each crime.
Before I do, there's something I want to hear from you. How did you know about the prototype sync machine? And not only that, you also seem to know what the sync machine is truly capable of. Why is that?
That's...
Regaining your memories, are you? Human memory is fractal. If you retain even a single piece of it, it's possible to recreate the whole thing. Pieces of memories are like roots that grow into every corner of the brain, gradually, slowly, taking its time. I imagine the same thing is happening in your brain right now.
A fractal is a figure with self-similarity. Allow me to explain. See this? Whichever fragment you cut, you will see a similar shape. The whole is made up of its similar parts. This is called a fractal figure. Memories in the brain are similar. That is what he is explaining. He is claiming that from a few pieces, you can rebuild the memory.
I knew about the prototype from regaining my memory, is that right? No, that's not it.
Parallel worlds exist.
Who are you?
Saito. Saito Sejima. Congressman Sejima's son.
What?
I researched Saito thoroughly, but I cannot find any images of him on the internet. He is listed on the family register, but I cannot find any photographs.
Who was inside Iris during the interrogation?
That was me.
You imitate her well. From the way you talked and your body language, it was like the real Iris. Earlier, too, you almost had me fooled. Your imitation of Boss was perfect.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Let me define some terms first. A person's memory and sense of self. Let's call that personality. It isn't quite the right word, but it'll suffice. Now, transferring that personality into someone else's brain, let's call that parasitism. The one transferring is the parasite, The one being transferred into is the host. Are you with me so far? Moving on. Even after the personality exchange is complete, the host's memory isn't completely lost. About 1% remains in the brain. So, a parasite could use that 1% to imitate the language and behavior of the host. That's how I knew about the warehouse and Sunfish Pocket, by the way. Thanks to Renju and Iris's remaining memories.
Who was inside Iris again?
I'm telling you, it was me. Why are you making me repeat myself?
That means the Somnium I entered on Sunday.
That's right. It was me.
How? How does he know about the original Cyclops killer? And something else was troubling me.
What's going on here?
Dusk and... Whoops. Please continue.
Fine. I still have time.
Time?
You'll see. So, where do you want me to start?
It's just past 9 on Tuesday. Shoko was killed on Friday. If we think of that as day 1, today is day 5. What was Saito doing on those days? I decided to ask him. Day 1? Friday?
Like you guessed, my personality was in Shoko, Renju's ex-wife.
How'd you get there?
That made calling Renju easy. I need to talk to you about something. He came over without question. I think it was around 4 p.m. I had him meet me at the chemical plant. I made Renju go to sleep. Synced, switched personalities, and then stabbed Shoko's discarded body with an ice pick. I took Shoko to Bloom Park by car, using the old abandoned subway line. Must have been around 8 p.m. by the time I was finished. I tied up Shoko to one of the merry-go-round horses. After that, I used Renju's phone to send a Nile message to Mizuki.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious.
Then, I just waited for Mizuki to arrive.
Day 2? Saturday?
Until next Saturday evening, my personality was inside Renju. My next target was Iris. I knew she would be suspicious if I asked her to come to Kawasaki, so I asked her to come to Sunfish Pocket first. I called her a little before 5 p.m., and she arrived just after 6. I greeted her, then convinced her to come with me. That's when Ota saw us. Anyway, I put her in the car, then headed to the chemical plant. On the way, I made her take a sleeping pill. I knew she might run once she saw where we were going. It was around 7 p.m. when I got there, and I wasted no time switching bodies. After getting Iris's body, I used a rolled-up apron to strangle Renju to death. Then I put his body in an empty oil drum I'd prepared earlier. I put that in the trunk of the car, then headed to Sunfish Pocket. But then, something I didn't anticipate happened. Waiting for the signal in Akiba, someone knocked on the window of the car. It was Ota. He asked me something about being able to drive. He was surprised, to say the least. I didn't have time to waste on him. But I couldn't risk him finding the oil drum in the trunk. Plus, if word got around that Renju's car was spotted driving around Akiba, that would foil my plans. So, I came up with a lie. I told him that I didn't have a license, so he had to keep it a secret. That's what that thing referred to in Ota's Nile messages, by the way. And just like that, I managed to escape a bad situation and headed to Sunfish Pocket as planned. The rest went exactly as you already figured out.
What's that crazy thing you keep on doing with your hand? It's really creepy. Day 3, Sunday.
Sunday morning, I had a recording or some such thing scheduled. Oh, I am, of course, referring to Iris. I didn't want to draw suspicion, so I decided to attend as planned. I went to Lemniscate and performed my job. And when I left, I ran into you, Date. To be honest, I was a little surprised. Just the previous night, I was a parasite in the body of Renju. I didn't think Ota had seen me. So, of course, I didn't expect to see you there so soon. You were on to me, but there was nothing I could do about that. If I ran, it would only increase your suspicion. So I decided to play my role. The interrogation began around 8:20 p.m., is that right? Then you synced into my mind. But you didn't get what you were looking for, did you? As a result, you had no choice but to release me. I didn't want to go home right away. I knew there might be police waiting for me. That would make it difficult to sneak out at night. And that would put my plan in jeopardy. So I asked you to take me to Marble. I tried to find an opportunity to run, but then another unexpected event occurred. I got a Nile message from Ota. I knew I could use him. So I told him I needed his help and to meet me at Marble. He did as I instructed him to do. After that, I got into the van with Ota. But because his presence was unnecessary, I asked him to stop at a convenience store to buy me something to drink. When he was gone, I took his car and drove to my parents' house where I used to live. Yes, the Sajima residence. Of course, I knew I couldn't just walk up and ring the doorbell. Hello, Father, it's been a long time. I was also in Iris's body at the time. But I thought I could use that to my advantage. So I pushed on the intercom and sure enough, my dad invited me inside. I told him this. I want you to come with me. There's something I need to show you. He was quiet for a while, but eventually agreed and got into the van with me. We arrived at the prototype sync machine around 11:50 p.m. By the time I was in the body of Sosajima, it was a new day.
Okay. Please continue.
This was yesterday, early Monday morning, past midnight. In my new body, I drugged Iris, put her in the van, and drove to a new location. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. I arrived around 1, then prepared for the show for a couple hours. Of course, when I say show, I mean dismembering Iris. Because of the temperature in the warehouse, it took longer than I expected to prepare, but... well, you saw it in the video. Of course, I didn't anticipate Ota would show up. What does that make it? 3 times that brat has showed up unexpectedly? That annoyed me to no end, and I took that out on him. Dressing him up in the polar bear was an impromptu plan on my part. I didn't mean to make you think he was the killer. I just wanted to throw a wrench into the investigation. Didn't matter if you found out or not.
So
This all
red
happened
herring.
Monday morning. I left the warehouse around 3:30 a.m.
And day 4?
There isn't much to talk about on Monday. Before noon, I used my old man's body to call this one Boss. You might not know this, but she and my father go back about 6 years.
6
But
years
she shared
again.
a terrible secret. Hinting at that was enough to get the boss to come running to me immediately. I injected her with a sedative, then brought her body to the chemical plant. I synced with her, exchanged our bodies. And after blowing my father's brains out, I cut his body into pieces.
Yep, that all matches up.
I stuffed the meat into a vase I'd brought earlier, then drove back to my house.
Please continue. Saito spoke with grace and no sign of remorse. I was trying to keep my anger from boiling over and kept asking him questions. Why did you take out your victim's eyes?
You know all about the prototype sync machine, don't you? That should explain it.
I knew. The prototype sync machine differed from the one at Abyss in a few key ways. The machine at Abyss is more sophisticated. Nanocables from the sync gear enter through the gap between the eyeball and the socket. They then travel down the optic nerve canal to the brain. But the prototype sync machine isn't so advanced. To perform a sync, you need to remove the left eye manually. The subject and the syncer have to remove their eye from the socket. Otherwise, the cables cannot enter the brain. Of course, even with the eye removed, severing the connection to the brain isn't necessary. The extracted eyeball still has the optic nerve and blood vessels connected. After a sync, the eye is supposed to be replaced back into the socket. It's supposed to be safe. Side effects are rare. Unless the nerve or blood vessels are damaged somehow, replacing the eyeball isn't too difficult. Yuck. Is there more to that?
Of course, I don't really care about eyes. I don't need them. All I cared about was exchanging bodies with the sync. And for that, I needed to remove the left eye.
Why didn't you just put the eyes back when you were done?
That's obvious. Once I was finished transferring into a new body, the old one was of no concern to me. Why would I bother replacing the eye? I was just going to get rid of it anyway.
I guess that makes sense.
Shoko's is in Renju. Renju's is in Iris. Iris's is in Dad. Dad's is in Boss. Their stomachs, I mean.
Yuck.
You sick bastard.
Yes, I ate them. Immediately after exchanging personalities.
How horrible.
Of course, my brain went straight to how did it taste, but I don't even want to think about that, so let's go on. What's your motive?
Homicide is my hobby. I have a
Hobby?
tenacity for it, what can I say? Of course, it was also necessary to make sure people kept their mouths shut. If I took over someone's body, they would know about my crimes. I couldn't risk them reporting me, so I killed them. It was also a matter of revenge. Against you. It's personal. That's why I chose people close to you as targets. Well, except for my father, of course. That was personal to me. But don't ask. It's embarrassing.
Revenge against me?
This series of murders was like a journey for me, you know? Traveling through bodies to finally reach the end. That's the thing about traveling. We always wind up in the same place, don't you?
Do you want me to go
Where
back?
do you think that is? Your home. A trip is only complete once you return home. The same goes for me. When I return home, my travels will come to an end. So I'll be needing it back. My body.
What?
You stole my body. You took it from me 6 years ago. That's why I want revenge.
What are you talking about?
You have no idea what it was like inside my own head. I miss it. I miss my brain, Date. No matter how many people I killed, it never worked. I never felt happy. I feel miserable.
You mean?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oh, that's right. My old body. How are you finding it, Date?
This body is yours?
That's what I've been telling you!
But I don't have the same oxytocin deficiency you did.
That is because I regularly supplement it. They must have increased your dosage too much.
No, but the person who had this disorder was number 89, the original Cyclops killer.
That is what I believed as well. But we must have misunderstood. Pewter did not specify who exactly was imprisoned. Only that one of the original culprits responsible was currently in prison.
That's strange. That would mean number 89 is the previous chairman, Rohan.
That must be it. Rohan is a parasite inside number 89's brain. Pewter must have known that.
No way.
I was confused. I didn't understand any of it.
Let us determine the specifics using Saito as our starting point. Whose brain was he in before Boss?
Sosajima.
And before So?
Iris. And before that, Renju. And before that, Shoko.
How did he get in Shoko's
And before
brain?
Shoko?
Whose body were you in before Shoko?
I was a parasite inside Rohan's brain 6 years ago until last year. I'd lost most of my memories. I was a shell of a man. They housed me in a special hospital. But I still had those fragments of my mind left. Just as I explained earlier. From a single piece, you can recreate the whole. I took my time, slowly regaining my memories. 1 year ago, I remembered everything. I left the hospital and immediately sought out Shoko Nadami. I got her body, and she was in Rohan's. When she saw herself in the mirror, she lost her mind. She was confused, panicking, running up the emergency staircase, and then...
That's why Rohan committed suicide.
After that, I spent a year perfecting my plan, using Shoko's body. I spied on you all this time. That's why I know everything about you.
Who were you before Rohan?
In that body you are operating right now, in that skull, my personality lived there.
Wait, hold on. If what you're saying is true, what about my personality?
It was in Rohan.
I'm not Rohan!
Correct. It is just as he explained earlier. Number 89 was in Rohan's body. In other words,
That's... Am I real?
Keep talking, please.
Sorry, but time's up. I want my body back. It's quite simple. Sync with me and stay inside my mind for more than 6 minutes.
And if I refuse?
I know that you won't. I know it.
Huh?
Date, look! This is streaming live!
Uh-oh.
Damn you!
If you give me back my body, I will give you the location. Oh, and of course, it isn't the chemical plant in the Kawasaki district.
Iba, where's the source?
it is being routed through numerous IPs. I cannot identify the source.
Computer, contact headquarters, now!
Got it!
Now, what will you do? Will you agree to my request?
Nope.
Doctor, I'm hurt. Don't you care about what happens to her?
Nope.
Do you understand the gravity of this situation? A bomb is strapped to her body. You're too stubborn. Or maybe you're just cold-hearted. You want to see what will happen?
Yep.
When her flesh burns and tears and scatters. If you aren't quick, you'll see the whole thing. You know I'm not bluffing, don't you?
Nope. I didn't agree, no matter how many times he demanded it of me. I refused again and again. And when I saw it, I understood. Boss's body rolled into the corner of the room. I didn't want to think anymore. Anything. Nothing. I closed my eyes and ran my palm across my face. I could taste blood. Bad end. It gave me these back. It gave me those questions back. Why didn't they resist after waking?
The prototype sync machine has a special feature. It administers a strong dose of sedatives to the original body, and a stimulant to the host after a sync. That kept them docile.
And why did you display them?
To harass you. I wanted to bring up the hatred in you. That's why I called Mizuki to Bloom Park. That's why I streamed Iris's murder. Because they were important to you, weren't they? I wanted you to feel cornered, trapped. I wanted to punish you, Kaname Date. You know all about the prototype sync.
Alright, this we already know. And I'm gonna skip to the end. Yep. Glad that I managed to get those questions back.
This is...
Oh,
Sure.
Date!
see? I knew you wouldn't refuse. I know you well, don't I, Date?
4:28 a.m.
I did it. I did it. I'm back. I got it all back.
Hey, where's Hitomi?
All right. I'll tell you as promised. Boss's house. However, it might be too late by now.
What? Why?
Return my body and I'll tell you the location. That's what I said. I didn't lie. I kept my promise.
You bastard!
You're the one who injured that body. It's your own fault, really.
Damn it!
Be seeing you.
Good eyeball. Who's a good little eyeball?
Date, are you alright?
Aiba's voice barely resonated. My eyesight was hazy, a heap of broken images. Sweat was building on my palms. Felt like my throat was closing up and I was struggling for breath. In my ears, the sound of rushing blood of my heartbeat was the only sound.
Everyone's dead.
Shoko, Renju, Iris, Ota, Hitomi, Boss. The flesh remains, the mind is lost.
I couldn't do anything. Saito had me right where he wanted me. Nothing. Nothing.
Parallel worlds exist.
The words suddenly echoed in my head. Couldn't remember who, where, why, but I thought if there was really such a world, then me in that world. I is another.
Could I have had a better future?
I prayed that I could. I felt my consciousness sink into a black abyss. That's AI Somnium files. What'd you think of the game, guys? Did you enjoy it? Quit what? Annihilation route? How do I not know how to say that? Wow, what the hell? That was that one. Alright, now we're going to create this save file. And annihilation. Wow, why did I have trouble with that? What the fuck? To the timeline, Machine Batman! Alright, let's reopen. So, room in Kawasaki District, abandoned factory. That's right, 89 taser dust. Abandoned factory. Factory. Ugh.
You're awake.
Damn it!
I don't think you can release yourself.
Well, do something about it.
What is it you expect me to do?
Come out of my eye socket and get this off of me!
I cannot.
Why not?
My body has short-circuited. It must have been the electric currents from earlier.
Gah!
But fortunately, my communication functions are still operational. I attempted to reach HQ and Abyss personnel for support.
And?
No response.
They ignored you?
There must be pressure from the higher-ups. Likely a result of Congressman Tsujima's interference.
He thinks I'm investigating Monika's case.
That is not the only reason. So Tsujima holds a personal grudge against you. He wants you dead. That is likely why Pewter is attempting to delete my data.
Are you okay?
For now. But if they breach my final layer of ice, they will destroy me. I I would cease to exist.
You're Saito Tsushima.
Oh, so you figured it out.
Renju's body on the ground, without his left eye. You were inside Renju, weren't you? Until just now? You used the machine to exchange minds, then got rid of his body.
Close, but you're a little off. I didn't get rid of the body. He died of natural causes. But what interests me more is you. How do you know you can use the sync machine to exchange minds?
And with that, we're gonna have to call it quits. Leave it on a cliffhanger for about a week or so, actually. Since we did the big title reveal and everything. Alright. This game had me doing like the conspiracy theory like thing. Where I was like, when I first watched this game, it was being played by Super Great Friend. And I literally had like a notebook and I was like drawing lines to, okay, this person went into this person went into that person, this person went into that person, and I was like diagramming the entire thing out. It just blew my mind. Yeah, he didn't get to go on nearly the romp he did on that in this branch because, let's see, somehow he got into 89.
Now give me the beat.
Not really sure how. Maybe he went from Shoko into 89? No, he went from Shoku into Renju. And then Renju sprung 89. 89 is Rohan. And then... so... he swapped with Rohan, so Rohan just died in Renju's. That's right, yes. He did get into that accident. I forgot about the accident. But, so, Rohan just died in Renju's body. And now, 89 is Saito. Or, well, us. So, we have each other's bodies right now. It's really hard to keep straight. It really is. Alright. So are you guys enjoying it? At what point we fricked up his plan and what changed to let us do that? That's true, but I think the main branch that was important was in Mizuki's. Yes, we did see Monika's body in Mizuki's. But it was the bird cages. So in the first route I took was with it was the rubbers versus the pictures of her family. So that's what for some reason controlled those two branches. But got kind of weird. But I think we kept Iris from being taken over by Saito because we were so paranoid. And we were super paranoid about the fact that she was going to be dead. And yeah, so she didn't go anywhere with Renju. Renju attempted to take her somewhere, but she got freaked out and left. Remember? She went and hung out with Mizuki all night, I think. I think that's where she ended up. Something like that. Yeah. But so that foiled that. So instead of going into Iris, Renju was just running around being mysteriously gone for a very long time. Because like I think that entire timeline was, where's Renju? Yeah, we were just going, where's Renju? Where's Renju? Yeah. And then when she didn't trust us, she went with Renju and got killed. So she really did not have a good run this entire time because wait, so we're in the timeline right now where she is alive, I think. Because since like all the other timelines, she's died of either cancer or shenanigans and stuff. And she died in the other route because cancer messed her over, and we got it into our heads that we could save her by syncing with her because of our dumbassery. But yeah, it messes with her, I guess. It either like goes, I don't remember if it was like an aneurysm thing or what. I don't know. My lips look super weird without its usual makeup. With its, my lipstick is over at the other apartment too. I need my lipstick. But yeah, we should get the entire details next time we stream. So, bit of calendar updates for you guys. So, on this coming week, this weekend, there will be no Saturday stream. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday streams for the next week are canceled because I'm going to be out of town. And so that makes when I will get back, I will be, let's see, what date will that be? So the earliest I'll be streaming again would be the 2nd of November. And it's going to be a fun trip. It's going to be awesome. But that means we've actually got something really important coming up for the stream channel. So I started streaming November... Let's see, what do I have it as on my channel? November 14th. November 14th is when I first started streaming. And so that is coming up in about 2-3 weeks. Yeah, so the 14th is actually a Sunday. So I'm not going to be streaming on Sunday, but I will be streaming on November 13th. So get it as close to the anniversary as possible. So I haven't decided what I'm going to play for the anniversary yet, but I'd love to take some like suggestions are allowed. I'll probably be going through my list of games and kind of figuring it out from there. but I can't believe it's almost been an entire year. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. It feels sometimes like it's been a million years. Just in the sheer amount of progress that I've made from last November to now is absolutely insane. Like, the stream quality, the equipment quality, just what I did. I went from being a voice streamer to a VTuber, and then I went from being a VTuber to being this and having my mask, and it's just kind of insane to think about. Like, I didn't have this amazing frame, I didn't have the webcam, I didn't have all of the art and everything, and my stream boss and stuff, and of course I'm still getting more plushies thanks to this crazy husband of mine, which is awesome and wonderful. And yes, of course, Cat Loaf. Oh, she's snoozing. She snooze. She's cute. This. I don't know how to tilt my hand. But anyways, yeah, it's just it's been a wild ride and it's been fun. But I'm not gonna be as crazy as SGF. What SGF does, actually, I know I've said this many times before, but SGF, super great friend on Twitch, is the guy who inspired me to start streaming. And I still watch his stuff, and it's amazing. And I highly recommend that if you don't watch him and don't follow him, you can get out of my life. No, I'm kidding. But you should go and throw him a follow or a sub or whatever you deem fitting. Because his content is amazing. And darling, what is he streaming right now? Silent Hill 4. So he does, the month of October is all Halloween games. And he also did the Resident Evil series, but he does a lot of like normally it's more obscure stuff. And so like Mondays are demo Mondays, so demo streams, and you can pick a game to have demoed. And so you get an hour and it's broadcast. He did Sea of Thieves a while back. I don't think he really got the point of the game, but somehow managed to go the entire stream without getting murked by someone stream sniping him. But overall, he's a really great guy. He does not use webcam. He is simply a voice streamer. But you know what? That's all he needs. And he's very soothing. He's kind of almost got that Bob Ross voice, you know, where it's really calm, soothing, but randomly you just get these quirks, I guess? I don't know. It's just really funny moments, and I really enjoy his stuff. But, tangent, wow. He inspired me to start streaming. And he actually helped me get started with a lot of my questions. He answered because he's just that awesome. And what he does when he does his anniversary streams, which also is his anniversary is in October, and he's been streaming about almost 10 years now, maybe a little longer, I don't know. Something around that. Last year he played all of Blue Stinger, which is a absolutely insane game. This year he did darling, was it a 10-hour stream or an 8-hour stream? Okay. But it was basically he took the game and he played it from start to finish. And he played Escape from Bug Island. And it was like either 8 hours or 10 hours. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to play something from beginning to end because I'm ADHD. I don't have the attention span for that. I barely have the attention span for 2 hours. So, unless it's Sea of Thieves, then I can sit down for about 8 hours straight. Anyways, so I'm gonna have a look through my games. Yay, time blindness! Time blindness. But I'm going to have a look through my games. Feel free to recommend a game if you have one that you want to see on there. My game list is actually on the channel. If you go down to the game list area, it's under my About tab. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that into the chat. So go have a look-see and see if there's anything that you want me to play. And let me know. I do have game requests set up on my channel, I believe. But that's all I have for you guys. Next time we're streaming is going to be the 2nd. Yes. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you sleep well when you get to it. And, yeah, just stay awesome. Have fun. And, Doc, you're making me look like I'm naked. Go away. You can sit down here. Good boy. Anyways, have a great day, and when you get to it, sleep well, my lovelies.